Ever wondered where and when the first gladiator fight took place? Let's journey back to ancient Rome around the 3rd century BC. In those days, gladiator fights weren't the glamorous spectacles we envision today, but somber funeral rituals. The early gladiators were often prisoners of war, condemned criminals, and slaves forced into the arena as a way to honor the dead. These fights were a brutal display of life and death, a stark reminder of one's mortality. But as time passed, the gladiator fights evolved. They no longer remained confined to the realm of funeral rites. They transformed into grand public spectacles that drew crowds from all walks of Roman society. Surprisingly, even free men began to volunteer as gladiators, lured by the promise of fame, fortune, and the roar of the crowd. From funeral rituals to celebrated events, the gladiator fights took a dramatic turn in the Roman society. Let's take a closer look at a typical gladiator fight. Picture this. The sun is high and the air is thick with anticipation. The crowd watches in bated breath as two gladiators step into the dusty arena, their armor glinting under the harsh sunlight. The tension is palpable. The fight begins with the clang of swords. A brutal dance of death commences. Each gladiator showcases their strength and skill, their every move a testament to their rigorous training and indomitable will. The crowd is a living entity, reacting in real time to the battle unfolding before their eyes. Every strike elicits gasps, every dodge, cheers. The gladiators, aware of their audience, play to the crowd. Their performance is as much about entertainment as survival. And then, the final blow is dealt. One gladiator falls, the other stands victorious. The crowd roars in approval, their thirst for entertainment quenched for now. These fights were a testament to the gladiators' courage and the crowd's insatiable appetite for spectacle. What do you think led to the so-called golden age of gladiators? Well, it was a confluence of power, spectacle, and the sheer grandeur of the Colosseum. The reign of Emperor Augustus marked the zenith of this era, with the Colosseum, the largest amphitheater of its kind, serving as the epicenter of these thrilling contests. Gladiators, often slaves or captives, were trained to become formidable warriors, each with their unique fighting style. From the heavily armored Murmillo, wielding a large rectangular shield, to the nimble Retiarius, brandishing a trident and net, diversity was indeed the spice of the gladiatorial arena. But it wasn't all chaos and bloodshed. There were rules, a code of conduct that governed these fights. A gladiator could seek mercy, a decision left to the crowd's whims. These battles, while brutal, were a complex dance of skill, strategy, and survival. The golden age of gladiators was indeed a spectacle of power and entertainment. Can you guess what led to the end of the gladiator era? The answer lies in a combination of factors. As the Roman Empire began to face economic and military challenges, the costly and dangerous gladiatorial games became less sustainable. These spectacles were expensive to host, and the loss of human life was staggering. Meanwhile, a new faith was emerging. Christianity, with its emphasis on the sanctity of life, stood in stark contrast to the bloody spectacles of the arena. As Christianity became the dominant religion of the Roman Empire, the moral opposition to these brutal games grew. By the 5th century AD, the gladiatorial combats had all but disappeared. The Colosseum, once the grand stage for these battles, stood as a silent testament to a bygone era. As the Roman Empire crumbled, so did the era of gladiators, marking the end of a unique and brutal form of entertainment.